Y'all, these are trending for a reason. People ask me about these all of the time. They are such lighthearted books. This was an amazing addition. Oh my gosh, am I obsessed with this. These are our most recent towels that we added. Skincare fan. My favorite cups. It's spring, summer, current favorites. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sydney. If you're new here, today we have a current favorites video, which I am so excited about this. I love doing these. I've been compiling a list for quite a while now because this is going to be a spring favorites, but now we're just going to say spring, summer, current favorites. And I've just been keeping a running list of things that I use every single day that I've been loving so much lately and that I feel like I really can't live without. So let's jump into it. The LL Bean tote. Y'all, these are trending for a reason because they are so dang good. I think these are so cute. Probably my two most used bags right now. I also have a larger one that just has SK on it, and then this is my most recent one that is the smallest one that I have. And this is really good for like an everyday tote when I'm just going out and about. Throw my camera in, my wallet in. You can pretty much fit like lip gloss, sunglasses, keys in here. And of course I have a couple claw clips on each of them. And this one with all of the fun bag charms that doesn't have any monogram or any embroidery on it. People are doing like all of the fun, clever things that go along with their name on there and just like clever sayings. I know some people are putting like on TikTok, they'll say like, what's a clever LL Bean tote saying for my name? And I think that it would be fun to say like 42 P Sherman Wallaby Way, whatever it is, because my name is Sydney. But I just wanted like very timeless ones, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna end up doing that. Regardless, this is also used all of the time because I can fit my laptop in there anytime I'm on the go. We've got snacks, my Hydro jug, my wallet, my keys, my camera. This is a really good size. So I'll list all the sizes that I have on here. I believe that this one is medium and I believe this one's like extra small. I'll find out. Next up, we have the Boyfriend Low-Rise Mini Shorts from Aritzia. These are 100% my most worn lounge shorts that I have. I love how short they are. I love a low-rise short, and they are so stinking comfortable. I wear them to bed all the time. I wear them just with a tank top out and about, wear them with a big t-shirt. They are simply the best. If you're not a low-rise person, on Aritzia, they have so many different styles, and they have more high-rise ones, a little bit longer of shorts, but Aritzia has such good loungewear. Speaking of Aritzia, we also have my most worn tank tops. People ask me about these all of the time because I always do my sports bra underneath and give it like a double layered effect. It's the Butter Essential Camisole. Super comfortable. I honestly can wear them without a bra typically, but what I love doing is with the sports bra underneath, I'll work out in them, go on a walk in them, and I just think they are like the perfect basic tank. I also have one that has like a little bit of a V-neck in it. I have like 5 or 6 different colors and I just rotate through them, and you guys have seen them a million times if you watch any of my content. Had to dig these ones out of the wash because honestly I will probably be wearing them weekly. I think they've got a little something on them, probably some dog drool because they were in the hamper, but these are the Pace Crush high-rise shorts in 2.5 inch. They are a recent one from Lululemon and I love them. They're super loose, they're comfortable, they have the built-in liner, they have like this little spot back here if you want to put your key or anything in the tiny pocket. They have a drawstring on them, and for anyone who has like a little bit bigger thighs, they're super flattering, they're super comfortable. Honestly, they look good on everyone, but I love that they don't have like, they're not so tight that you can see the liner of the underwear, which a lot of Lululemon shorts have, unless you size up. And I've found myself having like the waistband being too big, but it fits me everywhere else, or vice versa. So I'm loving these. I do a size extra small for size reference. Next up, I'm just gonna say Brooklinen in general because we have so many pieces that we absolutely love from there. We are a Brooklinen household. Every single towel in this house is from Brooklinen. We even got some beach towels this last time from there, and they are just as good as I imagine. All of our sheets and our duvet covers, pillowcases, everything is from there in each of our bedrooms. Our robes are from there, but these are our most recent towels that we added. I love the design of them. These are the plush Turkish cotton ones. I love stripes recently. I feel like I've been getting everything stripes. All of our bedding has been striped lately, and they're super plush robes. This is what you guys see me in all the time. I have 3 different striped ones, and then I also have this light green one. They are the coziest thing ever. I size up in them and I do a size medium. I think I even have one large one just because I like them nice and comfy. Our most recent duvet cover is the washed European linen duvet cover, and I love it. I think that the linen is like my favorite look, especially because it can look a little bit wrinkled and still look nice and clean, rather than a lot of times, like if a duvet cover looks super wrinkled, it just drives me nuts. The goal for our bedroom, including our primary bathroom as well, is to just make it feel like spa, very serene, just very relaxing, so that when we come into our bedroom, it's like, I can breathe easy. And I truly feel like we've made it so cozy in here. Next up is the detergent that we use, Dead Cool. My favorite is the milk scent. I like all of them. They smell so good. The profile on here says amber, bergamot, and white musk. All I can say is that it's not too overpowering, but it still makes your clothes smell good enough that people will be like, whoa, what are you using on your clothes? I think every time we have towels out by the pool and someone's here, they're like, wow, they smell so good. Like, what detergent do you use? Or if someone's borrowing something of mine and they're like, wow, your clothes smell so good. And one of the biggest things that we've been trying to find is a scent that's not overpowering, because sometimes like too thick of a scent, it just does not smell good with your perfume. I just don't like a super lavender or like anything like that for most detergents. It smells good enough that it covers up Jay's sweat and actually like cleans our clothes, because sometimes I'll get like the super natural kinds that don't really have any scent and Jay's like, I can still smell my sweat in this, but it's not too crazy overpowering and it just smells so good. I get them off of Amazon and you really don't need a ton of it for each wash, so it lasts quite a while. This was an amazing addition to my closet. I got 3 of these for my sports bras, and it has been an absolute game changer. If you guys have seen me get out any sports bra from the drawer, I have like the built-in drawers in my closet, and it's so hard to know like what size you need when you're choosing that, and I definitely did way too small of drawers. But regardless, or maybe I have too many sports bras. Keep in mind, I wear like probably 3 sports bras a day. I do fitness training for a career, so I am wearing sports bras constantly. I typically live in activewear, so I do have a ridiculous amount of sports bras, and it's hard to organize them and to see them, so then I end up wearing the same ones over and over again. You could also use this for tank tops, or if you have a lot of real bras. I do not. Or you could obviously just get one of these if you want to organize your sports bras. They look like this without any of them on there, and it has 2 hooks in each spot, and so you can put 1 sports bra on each side, clamp it, and then it takes up way less space. I used to hang up each individual sports bra with the clamps, and it just took up a lot of my closet, and I don't have enough closet space to be doing that, and I felt like I either needed to have them in a drawer or had to have a little bit different of a method. I got these on Amazon. All of my hangers are the white wood, but they have some different options as well. I had a feeling after the first time that I used this lotion that it was going to end up making its way into my favorites video. It's the Body Bottlata, what a name, vitamin infused lotion by Sol de Janeiro, and it is so lightweight. I am so picky about my lotions. It needs to be lightweight, but it also needs to be hydrating enough, and it's very hard to find both of those things in one lotion, and I hate sitting there and rubbing in lotion for like 10 minutes after I shower. I want it to be quick, easy. I just want to like throw it on super quick, and I also cannot go to bed after I shower if I am not lotioned up. So I love this. It is very hydrating, and I love the scent of it. I feel like it's not too much. I do think that Sol de Janeiro has some pretty strong scents, but I love them. And I feel like they always end up kind of mixing well with whatever perfume or deodorant. I don't wear perfume every single day, so I will say this is like enough of a scent for me if I'm using it. And it says fast absorbing, non-sticky feel, dermatologist testing, moisture locking. And I would agree with all of that. Fast absorbing daily hydrating body lotion enriched with vitamins K and E and hyaluronic acid for enticingly smooth skin. Beautiful. Am I allowed to just say that my skincare regimen, like as a whole, is my favorite right now? It has been life-changing. I have struggled with acne for so long. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about my acne for years now. I will show you guys kind of like what my skin was looking like for years. I never wanted to leave the house without makeup on. I wore very full coverage foundation all of the time because I just couldn't figure it out. And I couldn't figure out my skincare regimen. And then I also was told by dermatologists, by pretty much everyone, like I was trying all sorts of different things. And when I was at the dermatologist, they would put me on some kind of antibiotic for it. And I didn't want to be doing that. They'd put me on some kind of topical cream. And I just like did mess with my skin more. I did not really like any route that I was taking. And then I started hearing that skincare is not even what ends up changing your skin, which I don't know if you guys have heard that as well. And I'm sure in some cases, that's why I gave up dairy years ago, like 5 years ago, I stopped eating dairy for a while because I thought that's what was causing my acne. And a lot of times it is. It's like your hormones or something's triggering your acne. But for me, the missing piece seemed to be skincare, and it seemed to be just needing the correct lineup. It's different for everyone. I can't just copy and paste someone else's. I ended up working with, they're actually in Canada, but it's Raw Canvas, and I do all of my virtual calls with them, and they set me up with like a whole skincare regimen, and we end up tweaking it like every 6 weeks. I do a call with them and anything that needs to be tweaked or added, and it has been life-changing. You guys comment and tell me like my skin looks great. I'm glowing more recently, and I will say I have not worn, which I'll get into that in a second, I have not worn foundation in like 3 months now because I end up just doing like some tinted SPF, or I just literally do my skincare and throw on SPF and my skin looks totally fine without. And that, having good skin is like one of the biggest confidence boosters ever. Majority of them are Zeo Skin, which I was using prior. I had a couple different things from them, like the acne treatment pads, because I would just look into like anything recommended, and I had a friend that recommended Zeo Skin. I was using some of the right products, but I was not using like the full lineup that I needed, and it has been amazing. So I have a whole regimen. I think it's like 8 steps or something like that. And like I said, my skin has quite literally never been better. And I've been using this. This is also one of my favorites. It's like a little skincare fan. You can use it for anything, of course, but I love just drying in between each step rather than waiting or using like a handheld fan that you sit there and do this for however long or wait in between each step. And I like to have my skincare dry a little bit before putting on the next step. Speaking of foundation and the lack thereof, I've been using the Hydratint Pro Mineral Sunscreen by Alastin. I am just about due for a restock, but this has lasted me so long. You really only need a tiny bit, and it is SPF 36 sunscreen, and it's water resistant, and it is the perfect shade. I feel like it blends right in so perfectly, and it blends in with if I have a spray tan on or if I am just like naturally tan on my body but not as much on my face. And it is so lightweight. It doesn't make my face feel like clogged up or anything, and I just love it so much. So this is really the only tinted SPF that I've absolutely loved and that I don't feel like makes my face break out at all whatsoever. And it's nice that I also have SPF on and I'm not even having to do foundation. Any of Abby, I hope I'm saying her last name right, Jimenez, I believe, any of her books are freaking amazing. They are such lighthearted books. I will say I don't get through them super quickly, and that's what I was wanting in a book. I know that sounds so silly, but I was the psychological thriller book girl. Frida McFadden was like my go-to with books, and my whole purpose of reading, for me personally, I understand people who want to like go through a book in 2 or 3 days. I want something that I can read a couple pages before bed. I want something that I can read by the pool and have something just put me in a good mood and is very lighthearted and an easy read. Personally, I was reading psychological thriller books that had me wanting to stay up all night. My sleep was struggling because of it. I was up thinking about it. I'd have crazy dreams or nightmares, I guess you would say. I'm like easily impacted by the things that I read and the things that I watch before bed. So I think that was a huge part of it. So switching over to more lighthearted summer beach read vibes seems to be the best bet for me. Although I will always like a psychological thriller. If you are wanting to get off your phone before bed and you want something that you just like will get sleepy from, and that's like an easy read to go to bed kind of in a good mood, I would say grab something like this. I also love all of her covers on her book, and during the summer I love something that just like gives off colorful, fun, summery vibes. I had no choice but to include this, and I am biased because it is literally my collab that I did years ago with One Up Nutrition, but it's a salted caramel protein powder. I use it every single morning. I look forward to this. Y'all, I am an iced vanilla latte kind of a girl when I go out to a coffee shop. I don't want to go out to coffee shops anymore. I simply want my protein coffee. Every time I go out and get an actual coffee at a coffee shop, I'm wishing that I was just having my coffee at home and it has protein in it. I don't have to add anything other than milk and coffee, and it is quite literally the best thing. I was just thinking yesterday, I'm like, I wish I had this in college. Like, I wish I would have known about protein coffee in college. It would have made things so much easier, because I always remember like running off to class and not having breakfast before and like grabbing Chick-fil-A at the student area at the school and campus, and not ever having anything like before I went and taught a spin class early in the morning. It just would have been life-changing, and protein coffee is like the best way in the morning if you're not wanting to like sit down and have a meal first thing. It's the best thing to get some protein in, but you also can drink your coffee rather than having to have a full meal before you have your coffee. My favorite electrolyte packets from Element. I like the lemonade and the watermelon the best, but I add one of these every single day when I go work out. I put one in my Hydro Jug, so I probably drink 3 to 4 Hydro Jugs per day, and one of them typically will have one of these in there. I love that they have electrolytes without having any added sugar. They're 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I will say it's a pretty small amount of magnesium, so I wouldn't use that as your source of magnesium. Like, I will normally take magnesium at night, and I have a different supplement for that, but I do love them for my electrolytes. They help me with any kind of headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, and I just like the taste of them. Also, if I'm sweating a lot, which even just going on a long walk here in Florida, you end up sweating a lot. I started using them because Jay was having them when he was running and sweating so much, so he wanted to replenish his electrolytes with Element, and then I started snatching them and I became obsessed too. Then we have Armor Colostrum. Oh my gosh, am I obsessed with this. I would drink this even if it didn't have any benefits just because of the taste, similar to Element. Also, Element, I will say, is quite salty. So if you're not someone who likes something salty, I would do like half a packet and maybe work your way up to a packet, or just stick with half a packet. But it does help with my cravings a ton for some reason. I don't know if that's like for anyone else, but for me personally, I feel like having something salty kind of just helps with any kind of craving. But the Armor Colostrum tastes so good. I also will do it with a full Hydro Jug, and I just do 2 scoops per day. This one's the peach persimmon, but not one single one of their flavors have disappointed me, and they are so good. So many benefits to taking colostrum, that a couple of my favorite ones: immune support. It helps strengthen your immune system and fight against any kind of infections. Helps promote gut healing, and you guys know how passionate I am about gut health. It has anti-inflammatory properties, so it can help with any kind of inflammation like arthritis. It has proteins, vitamins, and minerals. It can help with recovery. It can help with your skin health. I mean, literally the amount of benefits that come along with this, and the fact that it tastes so good. I first started with the unflavored, and I just was adding it to something, and I'm like, I mean, it has so many benefits, I'll keep taking it. But once I started using the flavored options, not only does it help me hit my water, but it also has the long list and then some that I just listed off. Speaking of all of these beverages, we have to include my favorite cups. I have 3 different sizes of these. They are the Weck jars. I also use them for my chia seed pudding, overnight oats. That would be what I use this size for. This is the smaller one that I have. The medium size is what I end up using every single day for my iced coffee. And then the large size, if I'm thinking like a very big smoothie or a very big iced coffee with a ton of ice, then I will end up using the largest one. But this one is the most used along with the medium size. And they're a little bit on the pricier side, I will say, but I love the glass jar and I love the size of them. And I just think that anytime I'm drinking a beverage out of a glass jar that I love, it ends up tasting better. I don't know. And last but not least, my Garmin watch. This thing, you know, I didn't know what I was going to think about the Garmin watch. I'll be honest. I went into it with my expectations set very low. I have an Oura ring. I still use my Oura ring for tracking my cycle. I actually think that you might even be able to do cycle tracking on this, but I prefer not sleeping in a watch, to be honest. But you can track your sleep, your recovery, all of that with your watch. Maybe I'll give it another go. I really only did it for a couple nights, and I still just end up wearing my Oura ring at night. But here are the problems with the Oura ring. Okay, very few issues that I have with it. I like to be able to track my workouts and to track my heart rate, which I just don't do on my Oura ring. I don't even think that it does that necessarily. It does track steps, and I think that they are relatively similar with steps, but I end up taking it off for lifting because I had my old Oura ring so scratched up that it looked absolutely ridiculous from using it with weights. So now I don't even end up taking it to the gym, and I use my Garmin watch. So if you want to track steps, I track 15K steps per day. At least that's my goal. And I just love having something that pushes me a little bit harder. I love that it comes up with notifications from my iPhone on here, and I needed a break from a smartwatch. I'll be honest. I took like a 1 to 2 year break of not really wearing my Apple Watch. And so I have quite an old Apple Watch that was starting to die like before the day even ended. And this battery life ends up like lasting me at least like 5 or 6 days, I would say, which is what I need, because I'd be going to the gym and my Apple Watch would be almost dead. And I'm like, I started to feel like my workouts weren't counting if I was not using my Apple Watch. And so I needed a detox from that, and I needed to focus more on sleep, focus more on recovery, which is why the Oura Ring was so good for me. And once again, I'm still using the Oura Ring at night. I don't necessarily think that you need both. I'll be honest with you. I have both because what the Oura Ring can't do, I feel like the Apple or the Garmin is helping me, and that's tracking my workouts. So I guess it just depends what you're wanting. If you're wanting the Oura Ring, that's gonna help you more with sleep, recovery, cycle tracking, like any kind of non-hormonal birth control. But then if you want the Garmin, if you are looking to track your workouts, I track all of my strength training on here. I track my walks on here, and it's really nice if you are a runner. I'm not a runner, but my husband is, and he uses his Garmin for all of his marathon training. And I believe what he'll do is he'll like input what his workout is prior for his runs, and it will end up like alerting him when he needs to do the next thing. I don't know exactly, but it seems to work with everything on my iPhone, which I was a little bit worried about because that's why I've always been an Apple girl, because I like everything to work very well together. And this has been awesome. So I'm going to put that on here. I have the Venue 3S Garmin watch, and it's been amazing. I probably had it for, I don't know, 5 months now or so, and I'm loving it. That's where I'm going to end it off because I could go on for ages, but I think a lot of them would end up being repeat favorites, like my Hatch alarm and things that you guys already know are my favorites. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this current favorites video, and I'll have everything linked in my description box if you are interested in any of them, and let me know if you guys want to see more of these. I love y'all so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.